Semua. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Yang terhormat rekan-rekan dari IEEE dan dari iGroup Asia Pasifik. Yang terhormat Mr. Alex Liu Yupeng selaku Client Services Manager dari IEEE dan juga narasumber kita pada siang hari ini. Yang kami hormati Bapak Ibu peserta User Training Research Like a Pro with IEEE second session. Good afternoon. Welcome to our event again, the second session of Research Like a Pro with IEEE Explore Digital Library. My name is Ria Riani from Directorate Repository, Multimedia and Scientific Publishing, and I will be serving as your MC today. Today we will have a session with Mr. Alex Liu Yupeng, and this event will be moderated by Pak Ramdan from iGroup Asia Pacific. So I hand it over to Pak Ramdan. Please, the floor is yours.
Terima kasih Ibu Ria. Selamat siang Bapak Ibu peserta user training untuk IEEE Research Export. Perkenalkan, nama saya Deden Ramdhani. Bapak Ibu bisa menyebut saya dengan Ramdan. Saya adalah account manager untuk iGroup Asia Pasifik, di mana kami adalah agen tunggal IEEE di Indonesia. Pada kesempatan ini, pada sesi 2 hari ini, Mr. Alex Liu Peng akan membawakan sesi training untuk Research Like a Pro with IEEE Explore Digital Library, di mana topik-topik yang akan dibahas adalah IEEE dan IEEE Explore and Introductions. Selanjutnya diving into search result. Yang ketiga adalah tracking hot topics and research trends with a personal account. Dan yang terakhir adalah research and reference management. Sedikit informasi mengenai guest speaker kita, yaitu Mr. Alex Liu. Beliau adalah Client Service Manager di IEEE, di mana untuk tugasnya adalah memberikan training dan support service. Beliau juga adalah Master Degree di Information Studies dari Nanyang Technology University dan telah bekerja di National University of Singapore Libraries sebelum bergabung dengan IEEE. Jadi memang untuk pengalaman dan beliau adalah lebih ke training IEEE. Jadi kalau memang Bapak Ibu ada pertanyaan mengenai user training kali ini, bisa langsung bertanya ke IEEE di sesi tanya jawab setelah penjelasan, begitu. Oke, without no further ado, I send the speaker to Mr. Alex Liu. Mr. Alex, you can start the training. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the afternoon session for our sharing. Allow me to start the PowerPoint. To save the bandwidth, we will turn off the video. Today's session is on the topic of Research Like a Pro with IEEE Explore Digital Library. There are two major components. The first part is a PowerPoint presentation giving you an introduction to IEEE and IEEE Explore Digital Library. The second portion, which is the part we will focus on and spend most time on, is actually the live demonstration. So this is a quick agenda. During the live demonstration, we'll be talking about diving into the search results and keeping track of the hot research topic and research trend with an IEEE Explore personal account. And we'll also be talking about research and reference management. Although the Q&A is left at the last portion, but if you have any questions during the session, please feel free to type your question in the chat. Please note, I may not be able to answer your question in real time, but after I have finished my demonstration, I will definitely come back to all the chats and answer the questions as much as I can. Today's focus is on using IEEE Explore Digital Library. And thanks to our librarian and thanks to Mr. Ramdan, we understand a lot of our participants today are researchers. And one of the important tasks for the researcher is how to get your paper published. Yes, I understand that, but that is not our focus today. So if you have questions about how to get your paper published, how can I write my paper, that is actually meant to be on a different session. Right? Of course, if you ask such questions towards the end, I will try to answer if I can, but honestly speaking, that is not the focus for today. So what I would recommend everyone to do is, let's focus on what we are discussing today and make sure that you get the idea, right? Number one, what is IEEE and what is IEEE Explore? Well, IEEE is Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. And you did notice that I put in red color says, but not just electrical and electronics. Why am I putting this notation? Now, I'm sure the moment you see the full name, you will be saying, hey, Alex, you know, this is electrical and electronics. I'm doing computer science. I'm doing bioinformatics. I'm doing industrial engineering. I'm doing chemical engineering. So, you know, do I need to use IEEE? Do I need to use IEEE Explore? The answer is yes, you need IEEE and IEEE Explore because it's not just electrical and electronics. The reason why we name ourselves as IEEE Electrical and Electronics is because this organization was founded in 19th century. That is more than 130 years ago. At that time, there is no computer. There is no chemical engineering. Electricity was just discovered. Electronics, in fact, was barely invented at that time. So that is the history, right? So please do not be fooled by the name. IEEE is not just electrical and electronics. In fact, currently is the world's largest professional membership organization dedicated to advancing technical innovation and excellence for the benefit of humanities. So if we look at the core activity, what does IEEE do? Our foundations are the technical societies and the members, and the technical societies publish journals and conferences, as well as IEEE standards. So if we look at the technical fields, IEEE covers, as I just shared with you, it's not just electrical and electronics, it's beyond that. For example, optics, this is physics, right? But it's heavily used in the industries and in the engineering and technologies. That's why we discuss about that. Robotics, artificial intelligence, smart cities, sensors, autonomous vehicles, cybersecurity, all of these are what IEEE is about. In terms of the platform which delivers the content, that is IEEE Explore Digital Library. And that is what you have access on. As of now, it covers more than 5.6 million documents in full text. And that includes the standards, the journals and conference proceedings, and some other topics. So this is an overview of all the resources available in IEEE Explore. And the one in the red box is the one you should spend most time on. So we have journals, conference proceedings, and standards. All of those are accessible to our researchers in the agency as long as you know how to access it. And the qualities of the publication is very important as well. Now, the quality matters because you need to read good quality research output in order for you to refer to the quality publication as references so that you can conduct your own research. So based on the ranking of all the published journals across the world, some of us might be familiar with journal citation report or the journal rankings by the impact factor. IEEE journals has always been exceeding. And as you can see, top journals and top #1 journals on AIs, on automation, cybersecurity, hardware architecture, and everything. #1 journals are coming from IEEE. Now, this is a double-edged sword. As a researcher, this is a good news. Why? Because you will be reading good quality publications for references. But as an author, as someone who wishes to publish, this is a challenge, and sometimes it's a huge challenge because top ranking journals are highly selective. So you better make sure that your research quality, the research topic, the research output is worth reading as well. Otherwise, it will not appear in the #1 journals in the field, right? And IEEE Explore and its content are very important. That's why organizations around the world are relying on IEEE publications for their own research and innovations. So we are talking about corporations in the industries, universities, especially research universities, as well as government who is working on research, such as your agency. They are relying on IEEE publications. So that's a quick overview of IEEE and IEEE Explore. And that finished the first part. In the second part, I will be doing a live demonstration to show you how the platform works. Now, for some of us, you might be familiar with this. For some of us, this might be the first time you have seen the platform, but don't worry, the platform is straightforward. It's quite intuitive and easy to start with. Just give me 2 minutes while I log into the platform. And while I'm logging in, before I'm sharing the screen, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And in the same time, I do have one question for you, which is, do you know how to access IEEE Explore digital library from your agency? From your organization? Do you know how to access it? The answer hopefully is yes. If it's a yes, congratulations. If it's a no, you may want to check with your librarians or visit your library website to find out how you can use it. All right. Just give me 1 minute. The page is loading and I'm going to share the screen right now. This is the IEEE Explore homepage. And once you landed on this page, the first thing you need to check is here, access provided by. Of course, if you are accessing from your institution, you will be seeing your agency's name. For me, I'm using a demonstration account. That's why it says IEL demo user. And now why this matters? Only by seeing your organization name, then you are able to download or access or read the full text document, the full text PDF or the full text HTML. So this name actually controls whether you can access the document. You know, sometimes, for example, if you're at home, you are coming to this website, you realize, hey, how come I can't download the PDF? I can't view the PDF. Well, did you check? You can see your organization name, access provided by BRIN, right? So that's number one. It's the most important thing for you to check. before you start using it. And on the home page, we have a search box. You can search for all the content. As you can see, we have books, conferences, courses, journals, standards. These are the major ones. Unfortunately, in your subscription, you don't have books so far or the courses. So most likely you are searching for conferences, journal, magazines, and standards. If you are searching in this box, you are searching what we call the metadata. You are not searching for full text. If you want to search for full text, later I will be showing you the advanced search part. You will be able to search for full text in the advanced search portion. On the home page, we also have featured authors, featured articles, news and updates, upcoming conferences for you to browse. Let's start with the search box here. Obviously, you will be starting with some keywords. For example, let's say I'm interested in sensors that are used in green buildings. You know, sustainable development nowadays is a huge topic, right? And as a country, Indonesia, we are facing a lot of issues as well, right? The sea levels are rising. We are consuming too much electricity and the pollutions and traffic jams in the large cities. So sustainable development is a huge topic, and green building is one of them. And in order for them to achieve the energy saving functions of the green buildings, obviously, so-called smart buildings are being developed and sensors are used. So in this case, I'm looking for sensors that are used in green buildings to monitor the energy consumptions. So easily, I have three sets of keywords. The first set of keywords is sensor. Second keyword is green building. And the third keyword is energy consumption. Right? So we have three sets of keywords. So can I just easily, type out all these keywords to the search box and start my search journey? Well, if I were you, I will not recommend that. Why? Number one, starting with three concepts in this kind of searching is too risky. You may end up getting too little result. For example, you end up getting only 100 or even less than 100 results. So what I will recommend you to do is you start with one or two concepts. So in this case, energy consumption, the third concept, I'm going to remove it. I'm going to stick with sensors or green buildings. And you notice that two concepts here, and the green building is one phrase. So I'm using a quotation to make sure this is exact phrase. And a similar concept of green building is what they call the smart building, right? And you can add this concept. And again, this belongs to the second concept. I'm grouping all the keywords in the second concept in one group. And I'm going to connect my first concept and the second concept with a Boolean operator AND. So you notice I'm using all these search techniques in order for me to build a search statement. And with that, I'm going to start the searching. You might be wondering what happens to the energy consumption. Well, don't worry, because we can always add additional keywords after we get the first set of results. So upon searching based on the first two sets of keywords, from 5.6 million documents, I end up with 500 only. That means my search is already precise, isn't it? From 5.6 to 500, this is less than 1%, right? It's less than 0.1%. So I'm doing a very precise search. So if you want to add in more, for example, energy consumption, and in fact, you can just add in another one just for energy would be sufficient enough, or energy consumption. For me, I will just talk about energy. And you notice I'm keying in this box which says search within results. So I'm actually searching within these 518 results for the keyword energy and adding in my third concept. From 500, I'm down to 268. And now this is much easier to manage. Why? Because I still have other filters to help me with. For example, I may want to start with journals and conferences because they are talking about serious research, right? So click on apply. I'm reading only journals and conference publications. So this is what we call a filter. Filters applied, conferences and journals. As you can see, most of them are conferences and journals. Furthermore, I can look at when the publication is being published, when the paper is being published. Who are publishing recently, where are they from? Is there any possibilities for me to collaborate with them to find out what are the latest publications? How about which university are publishing a lot? NTU from Singapore is publishing a lot. University of California at Berkeley, right? UC Berkeley is publishing a lot. City University of Hong Kong. So as you can see, a lot of the world's leading universities and universities from Indonesia is publishing on this. This also shows that Indonesia is also looking into this problem, right? US, Spain. So it's a global issue. It's a global research trend. South Africa, Switzerland. So this list tells you, oh, okay, so these universities are publishing on this topic. So if I want to research in this domain, these are my potential collaborators, right? I can collaborate with these universities. I can collaborate with these authors as well. Some of our researchers are experienced, so it's very easy for you to find a research topic and dive into that research topic. Some of us are pretty new. For example, let's say I just started. I want to study about the sensors in green buildings for energy saving, energy consumption. So what are the possible subdomains or sub areas I should work on? This is where the publication topics comes in. So for example, within the whole domain of sensors for green buildings, energy consumptions, it looks like high voltage AC cut electricity is one of the topics. Now, as you can see, this has something to do with power engineering, isn't it? Because high voltage AC is about power. And of course, power consumption, energy consumption, all these are power engineering, and not to mention smart power grid. So as you can see, you might be working on a research domain that belongs to sensor, which is microelectronics, or green building, which is about sustainable development or sustainable energy. But it also has something to do with power engineering because it deals with energy consumptions or energy saving. So this kind of multidisciplinary research is becoming common nowadays. A lot of research are happening like this. It's hard to say that, oh, my discipline is on microelectronics. So, power consumptions and energy saving, nothing to do with me. I only deal with sensors. No. 30 years ago, that might be true. But nowadays, if you look at all these publication topics, the new trend is multidisciplinary research. It's not just about one thing, right? So let's say you're interested in this, which is related to power engineering. You can select this as a filter. And in this case, I'm going to select just one, which is high voltage AC, and click on apply. Then from 200 results, I'm down to 33 results, which talks about sensor, green building, energy, and it has something to do with high voltage AC. And of course, this is the least we can work on, right? So by this kind of filtering, you are not just trying a hit and run. I know some of us might be doing the search, like I just dump in a set of keywords, I do a search. Can I get something I need? Okay, yes, good. No, I will repeat again. That's why what I'm recommending is you start with a little concepts, 1 or 2 keywords, not 3, 4, 5, that's too many. You start with small and you use all these filters here, right? Search within results, the filters by publication type, the years, the authors, the publication topics, recommended by the system to help you to filter the results. And of course, anytime all these filters can be removed. For example, let's say I'm done with HVAC, high voltage AC. I want to go back. In order for you to go back, just click on cross. It goes back to the previous set, which is 200 plus. The same goes for your keywords. For example, okay, now I'm done with this energy consumption, energy saving related to green buildings. I want to remove the keyword of energy. Surely you can do that. As you can see, there's a cross, just click on it. It goes back to the previous result of 500 plus results, right? Give you more options. And you can add in more keywords here. You know, you can add in another keyword. Instead of energy, you change it to, say, temperature, right? To monitor the temperatures in the green buildings, you can change to a different keyword, then search within the results again. So the flexibility of the platform is to better facilitate your research, moving around different domains, exploring different concepts or new concepts, which can inspire your research ideas. Now let's talk about the search results. And well, what to talk about? Well, obviously, I mean, I'm sure the first thing you'll notice is this PDF icon, right? Just click on it, you can read the PDF. So what to talk about? Well, I will recommend you to look at this thing first, sort by. Now, by default is by relevance, which means the most relevant one will appear first, which is true, right? Because we want to find the most related documents relevant to our research. But I will recommend you to try something else. For example, most cited by papers or by patents. Engineering research or technical research is very different from, say, social science or humanities, or even pure science, like pure mathematics. I don't think someone is going to apply a patent based on pure mathematics, right? But for engineering, because we are doing applications, implementations, that's why patents, innovations are closely related. So for example, the first paper is cited by 5 papers and 12 patents. So I want to find out what are the 12 patents that are citing this. So you click on it and it will tell you, oh, citation by patents, there are 12 of them, 1, 2, 3 for this list. So the first patent, it says, this is a patent named inductive power transfer. That's a short name for patent, but there are quite a number of researchers, innovators, right? So if I want to read more about this patent, just click on View on Patent Office, or I can click on the PDF to view the actual document, right? So let's look at the Patent Office first. This is from United States Patent Office. It's a long list of all the patents here. I doubt you are going to scan it. For me, I'll always prefer to read it in Google Patents, right? Because there's abstract, there's the image. I can click on any of them, and I can download the PDF of the full text patent to read it. This is from US patents, and the diagrams, the figures, the charts, everything is here. So from this citation by patent, it actually links you to the actual patent document. The same goes for citation by papers. So if you look at by papers, this has been cited by 5 papers. 2 of them are IEEE. Now, if they are cited by IEEE, obviously, you can read the full text of IEEE paper, right? The PDF is here. If they are cited by other publishers, like the third one, you can't read the PDF, but you can at least read the abstract. Just click on the Crossref or the Google Scholar link. It will bring you to the information page. And in this case, this is a Japanese publication, but not to worry, the paper is in English. So you can still, read, or at least read the abstract of the paper. Can you read the full text? It depends on whether your library has subscribed to this database. This is from a different database, right? So ask your librarians if you have access to this. That's citations. Now, how about reading the PDF? You might be wondering what to show, right? Reading PDF, everybody does that. So let's take a look at it. This is a PDF document. There are diagrams, figures, mathematical expressions, and towards the end, there is a reference list, right? So these are the references. Now, you will notice that before the PDF, there is actually a HTML. So what I will do is I'm going to close the PDF. I will read the article in HTML, which means I'm reading the whole article within a website. This is the actual articles. And this is the image. You can click on it. It can bring you to the high resolution figure. And what you can do is you keep scrolling at the bottom. It comes to the mathematical expressions. Now, for some serious researchers, you understand what this is and why it appears, right? It's allowing you to regenerate the equations. The same goes for all the mathematical equations. How about the reference list? So if you scroll down to the bottom of the article, which shows the references, this is the actual reference of the articles. And as you can see, you can view it from Google Scholar. And number 6 is actually an IEEE publication. That's why you can read the full text, right? The same goes for other informations. All the figures are indexed here, figure 1, figure 2, and everything. All the author information are listed here as well. We talked about the citation before, right? The citation by paper, citation by patents. And we also have keywords to show you what are the keywords that are attached to these articles for your better searching. We also have a matrix to show you how many people have read the article, the usage, right? Let's use a table. If you look at the year 2011, this is the number of people who has read the articles, right? Or you can look at it as a graph. And how many citations? It's like this. So that's for the articles. Some of us might still be interested in downloading the PDF. You can just click the PDF to download. If I were you, what I will do is I will select the article and I will download multiple PDF at one time. I can also export the citations based on the format needed. Now, the next question is, as a researcher, I would like to read the latest publications, right? So how do I do that? Well, you can sort by newest first to read the latest publications. But how about I want to keep reading, which means, tomorrow I come in, I want to know what are the latest papers. On Monday, when I log in, I want to know what is there any papers that are newly published. So in order for you to do that, you need to create a search alert. And in order for you to create a search alert, you need to have a free IEEE Explore personal account. So all you have to do is just click on this, create account, you will be brought to this page. Don't worry, we are not asking for your credit card number. We are just asking for your name, email address, and password. That's it. With that, you can log in using your personal account, the email address that you use to create your personal account, right? So I'm logging in using my account. And once you log in, you will be able to see your name. It says, welcome, Alex. So which means now I'm in my account. And with this, I can set a search alert. Give a name, say sensor building, right? Sensor used for buildings. Click on save. Oops, I have reached the limit of 15 search alerts because I have been doing a lot of savings. So you can save up to 15 search alerts. For me, I think I reached my limit. So all your saved searches will be under my settings, alerts. And there's saved searches. As you can see, we have saved searches. So all these are the searches that I have saved earlier. You can disable them. For example, click on the bell. Now this is disabled. Or you can click on the cross to remove it. Are you sure I want to remove? Yes. And you can also edit the name. So in this case, I can change it a new name, new, click on save. It will change the name of the alert. Of course, you can remove it as well, right? Just remove it. So this will allow you to keep track of the search that you have done. And next time, if there's a paper that matches your search criteria, you will be alerted. Personally, I like this because it saves me the time of coming in to explore, perform a search, and keeping track of it. So I don't have to do that. All I have to do is I do a good search, then save it. Next time, if there is a paper matching my search criteria, it will send me an email say, hey, Alex, there's 3 new papers that matches your search on, say, sensors for green buildings. And 1, 2, 3, these are the links, right? It will bring me to Audiovisual Explore and I can read the latest publications. Another one I highly recommend is journals and magazines. You should create alerts for journals and magazines that you read a lot. For example, let's say I'm interested in Internet of Things. Internet of Things is very fancy. Everything is connected, right? So what I will do is I will look for the journal on Internet of Things. So we have a journal on Internet of Things. We have a magazine on Internet of Things. So I will select these two, update. So next time, if these journals or magazines have a new paper published, I will receive an email alert as well. So that allows me to read the latest publication, right? This is alert. It's under my settings, alerts. There are a lot of other features you can use, like my research projects, my favorites, and you can manage your search history, set your preferences. I will leave this for you to explore, and later I'm going to show you a video tutorial to teach you how to explore all these, right? Now, the next thing I want to show you is advanced search. Remember, if you want to search for full text, which means the keyword that appears in the full text, you should come to advanced search. So in here, you can define where you want to search. You want to search full text and metadata or full text only. This is how you do it, right? Another useful one is you can search for keywords, author keywords, IEEE terms, inspect control or non-control terms. They are all here. You can specify exactly where you want to perform the search. Another useful one is author affiliation. So if you know, or if you want to find out the research output from certain organization, from a certain universities, or in fact, what most people will do is from your competitors. For example, a research agency in the US, in Japan, in Korea, then you can do a search. It's also useful if you are looking for collaborations. For example, for those who are working on sensors, right? Qualcomm is one of the big company which is doing a lot of research on this. So if you want to know what research Qualcomm is working on, just search for the company name and click on search. what you will be getting is you will be finding all the research output from Qualcomm. They will provide you an analysis. As you can see, there are over 3,000 publications from this company, this corporation. And you can also find out who one has published 53 articles. Second one just from Qualcomm. And we have also affiliation, right? Where are they from? As you can see, most of the research in Qualcomm is actually done in the States, all in the States, right? Barely you can see someone outside the States. It's all United States. And this is a collaboration of one of the universities in Korea with Qualcomm. That's why the name appears here. And so this kind of information provides you the insights of what it does. So for example, I want to know the first two person, the first two authors. Who are they? What research paper they have published? Then you can conduct a filter, click on those two, filter it, and you will be getting all the research results from them. And from that, you can read the papers. You see, it's a lot of conference publications. As you can see, every name is hyperlinked. If you click on the name of the person, the author, it will bring you to what we call an author profile. And this researcher is from Qualcomm Technologies, and he has been publishing since 1993. 69 publications, over 2,000 citations, and he's still publishing as of this year. So this is how you can find out more information about this particular author. And I will leave the rest of the functions on advanced search for you to explore, because the platform provides detailed guides. As you can see, learn more about data fields, search examples, search operator, search tips. They're all here. In the meantime, if you prefer to watch a video tutorial, or if you need help or anything, just come to help, resources and help. And we have a dedicated section for videos and tutorials, videos and trainings. We have video tutorials. Click on it. There is a short video on one search, how to do a basic search, which I have already covered. Browsing, command search, content alert, which I cover as well. File cabinet, research projects. Personalization is about your personal account. So everything is a short video, 4 to 5 minutes. Feel free to watch these videos to help you to better understand how to use IEEE Explorer's other features and functions. All right, with that, that's the last bit of IEEE Explore introduction demo. Now allow me to stop sharing and let's see if there's any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Alex, for your broad explanations about what is IEEE and what is IEEE Explore and how do we manage our search in IEEE Explore. Baik, Bapak Ibu, terima kasih untuk Alex Liu yang telah menjelaskan mengenai apa itu IEEE. Jadi kalau kita lihat dari singkatannya, sedikit saya rangkum dari pembicaraan Alex bahwa IEEE adalah Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineer, tetapi bukan hanya di IEEE bukan hanya membicarakan ataupun kontennya hanya electrical dan electronic engineers karena sudah sangat berkembang. Selanjutnya juga Mr. Alex menjelaskan bagaimana caranya kita mencari artikel yang memang sesuai dengan keinginan kita, yang sesuai dengan kebutuhan kita, begitu. Selanjutnya juga yang dilanggan oleh BRIN adalah paket yaitu IEEE Electronics Library, di mana konten di dalamnya adalah terdapat journals, conference and proceeding. Selanjutnya yang terakhir adalah standar. Jadi ada sekitar how many, Alex, if we count roughly about the IEL package, the paper or the articles is I think about 3 million articles.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, the whole total of the IEL articles in IEEE Explore.
So the question is the total of?
Just the rough question, the articles in IEEE Explore. Yeah, we have around 5 million articles, but the BRIN, Badan Riset and Nasional, they subscribe the IEL. So how many?
Oh, I see. Understand. Okay. So yeah, the question is, out of the 5.6 million documents that are available in IEEE Explore, how many of them can be accessed by researchers from your agency? Now, as you can see, now we have 5.6 million documents. So a quick one is, if you just limit to subscribed content, you have the journals, the conferences, and the standards. You don't have the ebooks, you don't have the e-learning courses yet. So if you look at the numbers, these are the numbers. It's about 5.5 million. Of course, this is based on my demonstration account, which is very close to your agency's subscription. The actual number, for example, the first two numbers should be correct. But if you ask me, hey, Alex, you know, mine shows a 395, yours is a 572, it's different. Well, there are small differences, but I don't think that's a huge difference. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Baik, mungkin ada yang ditanya. Ada dari Pak Bambang Sugiarto, sorry I came late the Zoom meeting. How to access IEEE article using email at brin.go.id. Mungkin Ibu Ria atau yang lainnya bisa menjawab pertanyaan ini.
Do you want me to answer the question, or you want the librarians to answer this?
Yeah, if you, okay.
Okay. To access IEEE article has nothing to do with your email address. It has something to do with this. Access provided by IEL demo user. And that's why during my training, remember when I was transiting from PowerPoint to the live demo, I was asking everyone, do you know how to access IEEE Explore from your organization? If your answer is a yes, then congratulations, you know how to do it. And if you are still asking, how can I access, which means your answer is, oops, I do not know how to access IEEE Explore from my agency, from my organization, then what you need to do is contact your librarians, contact your library, because they have set it up for you on how to access. And unfortunately, I do not know how. That's why I'm sorry, I don't have an answer to that. Please approach your library. They have set up a secret way to access it safely, right? I hope that answers the question.
Ramdan izin menambahkan.
Silakan Ibu.
Untuk Pak Bambang, kalau di dalam lingkungan BRIN, bisa langsung saja Pak dengan memasukkan email sesuai SSO BRIN. Namun jika Bapak ada di luar alokasi BRIN, bisa menggunakan VPN BRIN, nanti akan kami share di kolom chat. Mungkin itu Pak Ramdan, terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih. Thank you Alex, thank you Ibu Ria. Mungkin ada pertanyaan lagi. Ya, dari Ibu Rosmiati, sign in langsung ya. Mungkin ini lebih cocok ke Ibu Ria pertanyaannya.
Iya, terima kasih Pak Ramdan. Untuk sign in langsung bisa dicoba menggunakan login menggunakan SSO BRIN, yaitu username yang belakangnya ada @brin.go.id. Mungkin nanti jika menemukan kendala bisa menghubungi kami di Direktorat Repositori Multimedia dan Penerbitan Ilmiah. Mungkin itu Pak Ramdan.
Terima kasih Ibu Ria. Bu Rosmiati mungkin sudah terjawab. Tapi harus di area BRIN ya. Bagaimana Ibu maksudnya? Atau mungkin Ibu bisa langsung berbicara? Ini pertanyaannya.
Ya, makasih Pak. Kalau kita mau sign in langsung di area BRIN ya nggak bisa kalau di luar area BRIN ya?
Baik, terima kasih. Bagaimana Ibu Ria?
Ya, Bu, betul harus di area CWS atau co-working space-nya BRIN kalau untuk menggunakan SSO. Namun jika Ibu di luar area BRIN, nanti akan menggunakan VPN BRIN. Nanti akan kami share di kolom chat, Bu. Mungkin
Ya,
itu
baik.
Ramdan.
Ya, baik. Makasih, Bu.
Baik, terima kasih Bu Ria. Terima kasih Bu Rasmiati. Baik, apakah ada pertanyaan kembali seputar cara akses untuk pencarian artikel di IEEE Explore? Iya, sambil menunggu pertanyaan, jadi saya akan rangkum kembali. Di IEEE Explore itu kita bisa membuat personal sign in, sehingga kita bisa men-save search history, search kita. Jadi kita tidak perlu lagi kalau kita ingin membuka IEEE Explore, kita bisa langsung ke search history kita untuk melihat apa yang sebelumnya kita cari untuk relevansinya. Jadi kita sangat memudahkan sekali. Selanjutnya juga kalau kita mempunyai personal account di IEEE, kita akan dapat alerts untuk artikel yang baru, paper yang baru yang kita inginkan, yang kita butuhkan. Begitu. Baik, mungkin kami masih menunggu untuk pertanyaan. Bapak Ibu bisa raise hand, bisa langsung berbicara atau melalui kolom chat. Boleh memakai bahasa Indonesia ataupun bahasa Inggris. Baik, mungkin tidak ada pertanyaan. Mr. Alex, I think there's no questions anymore about IEEE Explore, so I'm gonna give the audience to Ibu Ria. Terima kasih. Saya persilakan kembali kepada Ibu Ria untuk membawa acara.
Baik, terima kasih Pak Ramdan. Mungkin sebelum saya akhiri, Pak Ramdan bisa mencantumkan kontak di kolom chat jika kedepannya akan ada pertanyaan terkait IEEE Explore. Also, Mr. Alex Liu, if you have a contact that we can contact you later for further questions, you can put your contact in the chat box. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I have left an email address in the chat box, which is training@ieee.org. And Mr. Ramdan has also left his contact in the chat box as well. So if there are any further questions, please feel free to contact either one of us. We shall follow up accordingly. Thank you. Thank
you, Mr. Alex Liu. Terima kasih Pak Ramdan yang telah memoderatori jalannya sesi kedua training IEEE Explore Digital Library hari ini. Semoga apa yang dipaparkan oleh Alex Liu dapat bermanfaat bagi Bapak Ibu di lingkungan BRIN dan dapat dimanfaatkan semaksimal mungkin. Sebelum mengakhiri kegiatan, saya ingatkan kembali untuk mengisi presensi yang telah disampaikan pada kolom chat. Bapak Ibu, demikian kegiatan user training research like a pro with IEEE Explore sesi kedua hari ini. Saya akhiri kegiatan ini. Terima kasih atas waktu dan partisipasinya. Mohon maaf apabila ada salah-salah kata. Selamat siang. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Alex Liu. Thank you